Okay, so I have a couple of clips here that I shot in 1920 by 1080, and what I want to do with them is I want to transfer them to a one by one format for Instagram. But what I want to do is I don't want it just to cut right down the middle and leave me with whatever's in the middle of the frame. I want to be able to control what gets in that center frame. So let me show you how I do this. I have a real quick clip, and as you can see, I got this one little boy here, and he's slightly off to the right, and he's kind of playing with a duck, and I have a little guy as the sea lion goes by him. So those are the two clips I want to work with, okay? So if I take this and do what most people do, which is to come up to sequence and go to sequence settings, and then just come in here and change my 1920 to 1080, this is not what we want to do, because watch what's going to happen. Okay, I hit OK, and it's going to tell me that it can't be undone if I keep working on it. But as you can see, as I play this now, that not only do I have him way out of frame, but I've also messed up my cut lines. They're out of whack. So this is not what you want to do, and this is what's going to happen if you use an automated program or something like that to do this. So let me Command Z out of that. Let me get us back to our program here. So let me show you what I like to do so that I can control this process and also keep my original primarily intact. I'm going to come down here to New Item, and I'm going to come to Color Matte. And this is going to, most likely it's going to say 1920 by 1080. You're going to want to make sure it says 1080 by 1080, and you're going to hit OK. And then you go ahead and you could choose a color if you want, anything like that, to do a mask. And I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm going to hit OK. And down here, you can see what's happened is it's made a matte for me. I'm now going to take the matte. I'm going to pull it over my clips, or over my entire timeline, let it go. And as you can see, what I have is I have a nice bright red box dead centered in my frame. Problem is I can't see anything that I'm working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my color matte. I'm going to come up to opacity, and I'm just going to scale this back until I get it to where I can see underneath. Now that I've got it to where I can see, I know that this is going to be my area in which I'm going to work. So first thing I'll do is I'll slide over in here, and I'm going to click on my clip, and as you can see, he's way out of alignment here. So I'm just going to use my position slider, and I'm just going to move him to where he's going to remain in that frame where I want him, rather than having him off to the side. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so now he's in there, messing with the duck a little bit. Now we'll come to our next little guy. We got him here, and you can see when we play him, he's way off. Okay, so I'm going to take him, and I'm going to take my position slider, and I'm going to move him so that he's going to be where I need him to be. I'm going to take this all the way to the edge. And now, when the sea lion goes by, I'm assuming it's a sea lion, we can keep him in our frame, and we're controlling what we want to be in that square format. We're not letting an algorithm or a third-party program do that for us. So now we have what we want right there. So that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to come back to the titles, and you can see in this one, the Aquarium of the Pacific fits not too badly. So I'll just take this and maybe move this over just a tiny bit, about right there till I have it centered. Now I'll select my next one, and you can see with this one, we've gone way out. So I could either crop it to where it says something else. I can basically get in my I can get back onto this guy, and I can make it a little smaller if I want. I don't want to make it too small though, because with Instagram, remember, people are working primarily on their phones. So we don't want to go too small, but for right now, I'll just do this so that we can see what we're talking about. So I'm going to get this to where I like it, move it over a little bit. Okay, now I've kind of got that. I'm inside my title safe and everything. So now I have everything. Now I have everything kind of where I want it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn off my color mat. So my color mat is off. I'll go ahead and render this right now. I'm sorry I have a pretty slow computer, but that's okay. But anyway, here we go. So now I'm good to go. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to come up to File, and I'm going to come to Export. I'm going to come to Media. All right, and then these are the settings I usually like to use. I use H.264, high bit rate, and I'm not going to retitle it because I'm fine here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to our basic video settings. I'm going to click off the check mark, and I'm going to change my width here to 1080. So I'm at 1080 by 1080. If it won't do it for you, if it's staying proportionally, you just have to turn off the proportion switch here. I'm at 1080 by 1080. I'm now going to come up here and I'm going to go scale to fill. And now, if you look, when you do your output, you will have perfectly square video with everything exactly where you want it to be. So that's how you do that. That's how you go through that process, and you can be in complete control of what ends up in that square box in the middle of your Instagram video. So I hope that helped you guys. Okay, thanks.